Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Triple P Show. And yes, I didn't take into account something. The camera on OBS. Because I was talking to these guys on Discord, and then I had to turn it off. I forgot to close OBS in the meantime. Yeah. So basically, this is the view for right now. I'm your host, Pat's Path Predictor, along with my co-host Ethan WX. Ethan, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good. Also, David Schlotthauer is in the call. David, what's up, dude?
What's going on? How's everyone doing tonight?
We're doing pretty good. We actually have our guest here on the show for tonight for a second. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Frankie Danger, who I'm holding right here. Frankie is, he really likes my scratches right here. I figured, hey, why don't we have a little bit of fun, have him come on the show for a little bit, and then we can get into it. So, Frankie, there's for you, for the audience right here. And with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get right into it. Let me know if you need anything. I love you. Have a nice night. Okay? All right. I don't know why, but this seems like one of those. I don't know why, but this seems like one of those 2016 YouTuber apology starts right there. If you remember that whole, all those right there. But anyway, okay, we got.
Days.
Yeah. Okay, we got to get into this right here because we have a lot to talk about. Is the stream running pretty good? It looks like it is. Okay. All right. All right. I screwed up with the OBS setup here. We'll see if I can get that fixed a little bit later. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and dive right into things right here. So it's a bit of an interesting show we got for you guys tonight. Let's go ahead and get my stuff ready to go. And yeah, let's pull up the satellite and let's go ahead and switch this over to this. Yeah, let's do. Okay, so so my face cam isn't gonna quite work. We'll see if I can get to work on OBS real quickly. No, I think I'm gonna have to restart everything and then get going. So, all right, well, cool. So, great start, ladies and gentlemen. I know, great start, folks. Let's go ahead and get into it. We have a pretty good show for tonight. All right, so here's the situation that we got right here. If I can toggle with the face cam and get in the background and all that, we'll do that a little bit later. If not, that's okay. We'll just go ahead and use the Discord view at that point. So here's the situation that we got going on for you guys right here. Things have definitely gotten a little interesting if you've been looking at the ensembles and the operational runs over the last little while. And what I mean by that is the ensembles have been picking up on a couple of signals in the main development region. We're not 100% sure if they're legitimate or not. They've definitely been trending towards that path based on what I've seen with the trends and based on the fact that operational runs are catching up. We're going to dissect this. We're going to have a discussion tonight. We might have depending on how everyone's feeling about this, we might have a little bit of a debate with this as well. So with that being said, let's get right into this. So here's the situation that we have at hand. Again, let's just go ahead and push the envelope. Let's just go ahead and dive into this. It really bugs me that I don't have the face cam on right now, but it's okay. We'll just keep rolling with it. We'll get going. Let's go ahead now and switch over and give our guys over here on the Discord call the screen share for everybody. And Ethan, I want the two of us just to go over it first a little bit, and then we can get David's input in just a second, if that's all right. And David's on his face cam on the Discord call, so that's wonderful. You know what? This is a show for the community. We're just gonna. I'll just go ahead and do that again. I know I shouldn't be doing this. I know I should be concentrating on the show. We have a little bit of a chaotic start. This is just kind of how things go back and forth.
Face cam.
I don't think he has.
I don't do face cam.
Yeah, he doesn't do that. Yeah, it's okay. We gotta respect that. But still, okay.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. it's at to the point where I'm just being annoying to be annoying, and I'm sure a lot of people are like, "Oh my God, Patrick, we get it, Gokanara, we get it, Patrick, get started, just roll with it." Okay, all joking and all kidding aside, let's get into this. Here's the situation that we have for you guys right here. Earlier today, I uploaded a video talking about our MDR signals. I dissected the ensembles. I dissected the operational. I talked about those as well. I'm hearing feedback on my end. That's okay. Okay, that's fine. I dissected that. I looked at the conditions, and I kind of just went on a deep dive. The video was 29 minutes long, which I'm surprised I went as long as I did, but I digress. But anyway. So the main things I was breaking down here, I'll go ahead and go just to about 10 days out. Actually, no, it's a little bit too far out. Let's go ahead and go about 8. Okay, even that's a little too far, just showing the European for context. No, I do not want to zoom in. Okay, perfect. Here's what we have 6 days out. European ensembles picking up on 2 distinct areas of potential, I wouldn't say interest, that's NHC. I would say 2 distinct areas of, hey, we're looking at this. What's going on? And then you have this area first to the west that has a bit more pop with it, on the western part in the central part of the MDR. The second part, 6 days out, is south of the Cabo Verde Islands. Europeans especially been very aggressive with it. The rest of the ensembles and some of the operational are going, whoa, 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 we don't think it's going to develop right away. It's probably going to take a second and then get its act together if it does at all. So that's kind of the main thing I was breaking down, and I kind of gave my point earlier today in the video. I'll talk about it again. I want to go ahead and first turn it over to Ethan and get his take on it. What has he been seeing? And then we'll go ahead and turn it over to some of the other guys in the call as appropriate. So Ethan, go ahead and take a stab at things. What are your thoughts on what you're seeing so far?
So this is our classic Cape Verde type signal here.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. This is definitely the time of year where you start to see these things on the long range models. And honestly, I do think we need to consider the fact that the conditions out ahead of it aren't exactly ideal. Now, the sea surface temperatures are very warm. I don't know exactly what the OHC is looking like there in the Eastern Caribbean around the Antilles, but yeah, so the OHC is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good for that region. But I do believe that there is some Saharan air layer and a little bit, there's going to be issues with wind shear. So I think that is going to struggle to develop, but I'm not going to rule it out because we have seen storms overcome pretty harsh environments before. So
we definitely have, and I think a lot of us here, with the exception of David, have anxiety for the whole Invest 91L incident, where that whole thing just blew up in our faces. David called it. A shout out to the man, but yeah, it kind of blew up in a lot of people's faces. Right there for sure. Ethan, I'm looking at some of the data right here. Are you kind of I wouldn't necessarily say I'm having that kind of anxiety again, but what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, like, every system is different, obviously. And this one, I haven't really looked at it a whole lot just because we've seen other signals like this and they really have been nothing burgers.
Right.
So, yeah, as of right now, like I said, wouldn't be too worried if I'm anywhere in the US or the Caribbean. This is just something to maybe, keep an eye on every now and then because it might develop into something. Yeah, it's just there is a lot working against it right now. So I'm really not super excited about that. And I definitely think as we get further west, the shear is going to be pretty bad. I mean, yeah, further west, the shear is going to be pretty significant. And we do have another wave of Saharan air layer coming across. I mean, this is, again, typical of an El Nino season. We do get these systems, but they're going to struggle a lot. And honestly, now that I think about it, 2023 was more of kind of an anomalous El Nino season. That was a year where we had a pretty strong El Nino, but we had very warm SSTs across the North Atlantic, and we had a very active hurricane season that year. I think this year is really going to be more of the classic El Nino pattern where we don't see as many named storms. Maybe more similar to like 2013 or even 2015.
Yeah. That's definitely something I've been picking up on as the season's gone on for sure. Yeah, 2023 definitely was. I think also we had a pretty warm PDO. I believe it was. I believe it was as well. That kind of helped with it as well. So definitely stuff to look for sure. But anyway, Ethan, do you have anything else you want to add with this?
I mean, as for the tropics, that's all I'm going to really add for at least the North Atlantic for right now is, again, if you're in the Lesser Antilles, this is something to maybe keep an eye on, but I would not really be jumping ahead to cancel vacation plans
No.
or, worry about this too much just because, like I said, there is a lot that is working against it. Maybe it gets designated as an invest, but I just don't really see a reason right now that it will develop. Now, not to say it won't, because storms have overcome harsher environments in the past, but there's just not much going in its favor right now.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Ethan. I'm going to turn it over to David. I know he's been behind the scenes talking about this to us. I want him to give his perspective on the show about what we're seeing with these potential areas that especially the European signaling and some of the other models are starting to pick up on. David, what's your thoughts on what you've seen with your analysis? Which side are you leaning towards, and what can we break down?
So can I share my screen and show people?
Yes, sir. And we can definitely accommodate for that. Let's go. You're ready when you are. We'll shift over to the Discord. Hello, everybody.
Well, sir, we can definitely accommodate for that. Let's go. You're ready when you are. We'll shift over to the Discord.
Bro, I'm hearing feedback on my speakers.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, dude.
You're ready when you are. We'll shift over to the Discord.
There's feedback.
Bro, I heard feedback on my speakers. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, dude.
Oh, it's Eth. Is it Eth? Is it Ethan? I don't know. Okay, we're good.
Okay. All right. So, hey, everybody. It's David Schlotthauer here, your advanced weather enthusiast here that tracks hurricane seasons. This is like the 9th hurricane season in counting on my YouTube channel. Separate channels, of course. So, the big player this year is certainly an El Nino that we're seeing. And this is just raw sea surface temperature data. We're going to be looking at the relative index here in a little bit. But the thing that really stands out here is we have a really negative PDO. You can see this cold horseshoe right off the coast of California over the Pacific Northwest. We also have a really significant warm tongue. This is our El Nino that is getting a lot of people's attention. Oops, let me get...
You're good.
Yeah, I'm going to add to that. That area of warm sea surface temps you see near the equator, that is textbook El Nino right there. This is one of the strongest El Ninos in recent history. In fact, it might actually be, when it peaks sometime this fall, the strongest ever recorded. So yeah, but that right there is just classic. Like, that is straight out of a textbook right there.
Absolutely.
Yes. And
how
also,
high are those anomalies in the middle of that, in the highest areas? I'm seeing like over 5 degrees Celsius.
Let's go. Let's look at this. So let's look at this together.
Right.
Let's look at the basin. So right now, the El Nino 3.4 index is running at about 2.7 degrees Celsius. The eastern half of the Atlantic in the Nino 3 region, there are some anomalies here that are peaking at 4.6 degrees Celsius. And in the, oops, why does this keep on acting finicky?
You're good.
The far eastern Pacific, the Nino 1+2 region has sea surface temperature anomalies exceeding about 4.3 degrees Celsius right now. Now, to be specific, there are some anomalies here that do max out at around 7 degrees Celsius. And so it's not only the El Nino that is really a big deal in this sense, but if we go and look at our relative index, which, by the way, for you, Pat's Path Predictor, for you, Ethan WX, please use global mean removed minus global mean, because that's going to give us a better overall picture with a background, oceanic background that has warmed over the years. So I like to use global mean and look at North Atlantic. And this is what we have. Sorry, your webcam is on the top left,
It's
right side
okay.
of my
This is
iPad.
exactly how a Triple P show usually goes, at least for right
Okay,
now.
okay. So this is what we have right here. So if we just kind of focus in on this right here. So the whole point of this season that's also helping the Atlantic to not produce a lot of ace is a rather cool, relatively cool MDR, also a relatively cool North Atlantic. However, the subtropics right now are running relatively warmer than average in the relative sense. We got a little patch here, and also that Iberian Peninsula running above normal. So there's some people that will use the raw sea surface temperature anomaly data. I would probably advise not to do that just because of the global sea surface temperatures are running actually warmer as a whole. You can see the difference here. If we go just to the anomaly, the raw look, whoa, that looks like a really warm Atlantic. But when we remove the global mean, we see that. This is what we really need to use. It doesn't matter what data set. Coral Reef Watch is more high resolution than what we have here on the OST. I prefer to use both depending on what I'm looking at. Subsurface as well, lots of upper ocean heat content. But now going forward, there's very high confidence. And by the way, you're only going to find this on the Triple P show in the first place with the latest North American multi-model ensemble that came out on August
man.
8th, which was last night. This El Nino has actually trended stronger than the previous run. So if we look at the previous run from July 8th, you can see how the red area is a little fatter. You can see the difference there. I'm looking at a maximum potential. This is for you, Pat. This is for you, Ethan WX. This could max out up to 4.7 degrees Celsius. That's what I'm looking at right now in the Nino 3.4 region. The Nino 3 could peak at 5.4 degrees Celsius, which is, unheard of. That against a relatively cooler than average Atlantic here. I know these are raw sea surface temperature data forecasting, but in relative, you put this anomaly against the Atlantic, that is why we're seeing a really hostile condition.
Right.
So now, another thing I really wanted to point out in this Triple P show is we got to understand how models work, okay? We saw this last year. We saw this the year before. These tropical waves are right now the second wave that has the most bigger signal for development is over the middle of Africa.
Right.
We're seeing a lot of convection. The models are trying to initiate more convection on that tropical wave. At the end of the day, it generates more vorticity. More vorticity is likely to try to develop. So we really got to be careful. Right now, ensembles are freaking out on this because it's in the middle of Africa and it's not in the Eastern Atlantic right now. Okay, I would make a $1 million bet in the next few days. We're going to start seeing downtrends with the signal. That's the hope here. We don't want to see any named storms out there in the Atlantic despite an El Nino because, it's just how it works.
Sure.
So the credibility to add on to this is the GFS model, which has really been consistently showing not much development. So, of course, if we play this through, we do. Oh, now it's showing a better chance. Okay. The last run did not show much at all. So this run shows this tropical wave and shows this tropical wave trying to develop, which is pretty interesting now because now all of the models show development. I am really leaning against that for many reasons. And the reason why I say that is if we go to our deep layer relative humidity, look at some of that drier air being entrenched into that system, dry air to the north, and then some of that drier air does try to get into that. And by the way, with really high relative sea level pressure anomalies in the Atlantic, 1020, this is really not that deep of a low pressure area. 1013 millibar low. That is a very weak system. Actually, that surface low technically is on the higher end. because 1,012 millibars or lower is considered lower pressure, because the average Earth's average pressure is 1,012 something millibars, or 29.92 inches in mercury. So this gives us an idea. There's a lot of sinking air, and after that, it really just, there's so much dry air coming off of Africa. I know it's climatology isn't with us right now in the, well, it really is at the moment, and people are gonna be like, okay, it's gonna get very busy. You wait until late August, early September, David. It's gonna get busy. I don't see that. And the reason why is, if we look at the vertical wind shear, at least depending on what model you actually use. Okay. All right. I have to wrap it up, Pat, here. But
Okay.
really quickly, vertical wind shear in the Atlantic is going to be very strong through mid-August. Guaranteed. It's going to be stronger than normal through mid-August. Even on the Euro, we're looking at very strong vertical wind shear here in the Atlantic. So there's no reason to believe. I just don't have a lot of impetus on the two waves that are going to develop. Okay.
All right. All right. All right. You have to get going. All right.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, they're bothering. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, I gotta go.
all right. That's fine.
All right.
All right. Thank you for coming on the show tonight, David.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See you guys.
Yep. All right. Cool. Okay. That's David's take on it. I'm gonna respond to that by taking a quick look at it myself, and I just want to go ahead and give my perspective on it, because here's just kind of my opinion, and I know David has to go. So I was hoping to have a kind of a back and forth with him tonight with this, but he has to go. Hopefully, if he comes back later on the show, we can have that back and forth. After that, again, I'm really sorry about the face cam, guys. It's not here. I have my green screen up now, so maybe that just adds a little bit to the aura back here, at least behind the scenes. But I really do apologize for that. But anyway, enough about my face cam, because that's not why everybody's here. Everybody's here for the conversation. Everybody's here for the weather, and everybody's here for my opinion on things, as well as the opinions of everybody in the call, whether it's Logan, Delta, Ethan, and everybody. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and give my response to this real quickly. Then I'm going to open it up to Ethan, and then we'll go from there. My response to David is, at least in terms of what we're seeing with the first wave right here, I'm more in agreement that I'm not necessarily too excited about it, primarily because of the environment it's dealing with. Also, the fact that it's still a relatively weak wave to deal with as well. In terms of the wind shear situation, I was looking at this. Matter of fact, what was the 0Z looking at earlier? I was pulling this up for my video that I put out earlier today. 12Z is actually trending with a lot less wind shear a bit further to the south. Let me go ahead and share my screen to the people in the call and show them this. But it looks like, at least especially in the south, according to the 12Z Euro, the shear is actually trended a bit even lower in some areas right here. So it's definitely something that I've taken notice to right here. In relation to the dry air, let's take a cross-check. The first wave actually is in a pretty decent moisture pocket. There is a little bit of dry air a bit to the southeast over here that I'm noticing with this, but overall, as I said in today's video, as long as it stays in this moisture pocket right here and gets its act together rather quickly, it would have a better shot at tropical development. Now, do I believe some of the power numbers the European ensembles were showing earlier? Probably not. I'm not necessarily buying that this thing is going to be a big Category 1 hurricane or anything like that. This system hasn't even developed yet. The system is still just a tropical wave that is either just about to come off the shore or just came off the shore of Africa at this current point. That said, I've been keeping an eye on it. I've been looking at the conditions, at least initially from what I have seen, based on everything that I've taken a look at. It's a situation where the conditions start off pretty decent. It has a pretty good starter package to start off, in my perspective right here. But as you move further to the west, yes, you have more dry air starting to entrain. Yes, you're going to have more wind shear. Okay, not the 5-day, but here's the wind shear. Yeah, you're going to have more wind shear pushing further to the south as time continues to progress. I'd say your best shot for the first wave to develop is probably in the next 72 to 96 hours. before things start going on and starting to start chipping away. The system is expected to move towards the Caribbean Sea, which it will run into this wind shear over here. At that point, I don't really expect much going on if this enters the Caribbean. This isn't like years past where a system moves through, wind shear is non-existent in the Caribbean, and it just starts exploding from there. No, wind shear is going to be a pretty big factor, especially if it moves that far west. But in the context of the dry air aspect of it, I'm taking a quick gander at this. Yeah, it's still in that moisture pocket, but you have some dry air shifting a bit further to the south. So that's kind of what we're paying attention to. So yeah, I can see the dry air entrainments after 96 hours out for the first wave, but that's kind of my perspective on it. I think initially we have a better shot based on what I'm seeing with the ensembles and the operational and the conditions on the ground. As a matter of fact, too, you're seeing more moisture starting to enter parts of the Atlantic basin, the MDR. Yes, there's some dry air further to the west, but if that dry air continues to push further to the west and it continues to mix out in a lot of the levels right here, especially in the mid to lower levels too, then you're going to have a scenario where it's going to have a better shot at that current point. So that's just kind of my neck in this game real quickly, just my thoughts on it right there in regards to what we're seeing now based on the modeling. In terms with the second wave, yes, David is right. It is aggressive because the current tropical wave is still over Africa. I want to see if we can pull it up on the satellite imagery. Yes, we can. I think this is the Ethan, correct me if I'm wrong. It's either this wave or the wave behind it that's the second wave right here. I'm not sure if you can see this. But someone correct me if I'm wrong. Is this the wave that's coming up first, or is this the second wave right here?
So the one that is emerging, like where you kind of have the convective burst right on the coast, I believe that is the first wave.
Yeah.
The second one is that big MCS we see over Mali, and Burkina Faso.
Okay.
One of the things I do want to point out about that big burst of convection further east, kind of over the Sahel region, is look at that. That looks like a classic MCS derecho storm on radar.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's probably a pretty amazing dust storm with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
In central Mali right now.
In that part of the desert, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, there is probably just an incredible dust storm with that, seeing the way that that's like collapsing that convection. So that is going to be a problem because that is definitely going to bring more dust into the North Atlantic, which will hinder any tropical development further down the line.
Yeah,
but certainly a pretty amazing storm for Mali right now.
Oh, absolutely. I want to check.
I don't know if we have anyone. I don't know if we have anyone from Mali in the chat, but
yeah,
I'm sure that anywhere around there is seeing a pretty amazing dust storm. If you could pull up visible satellite, I don't know what. Actually, it's probably nighttime there.
Let's see.
So you won't be able to see anything. But
all right, Viz is Oh, we have a little bit of the IR right here that's pulled up. It's not as good, but yeah, definitely. I can definitely see that outflow boundary moving through right there with that tropical wave. Another thing I think, Ethan, we should emphasize too is this looks scary right now. That, like, if you look at an IR, this looks very scary right now, but this is land-based convection. Once it enters the water, that land-based convection is gone, and it's going to need to adjust to get to the warm waters in that part of the Atlantic in order for it to start getting its act together. You see, that's why you start seeing all that convection that is really blowing up over Africa just subside and you splash down, as we like to say, the splashdown effect, pretty much. And ultimately, that's also part of the reason why, at least initially, some of the modeling does start to downtrend a little bit, but then it starts picking back up if it's a really strong signal. So that's another thing we're going to need to watch out for down the line. But yeah, one thing we need to emphasize, Ethan, for sure, is this looks scary on satellite, but once it hits water, it's going to start decreasing in terms of the convection. All right, there.
Yeah, from a meteorological standpoint, this is almost like an MCS that you would see over the south central U.S. at this time of year.
Yeah.
Like at the current point in time, it's not really a tropical cyclone thing in the way we think of it.
No.
It is associated with the ITCZ, but at the end of the day, this is more of like an MCS that you might see over like the deep south or Florida during this time of the year. Now, there's definitely, I mean, for the places under that storm right now, there's probably some impacts happening because that is actually near the capital of Mali, Bamako.
Mm-hmm.
So they're probably getting a pretty good storm, maybe some flooding, probably a good dust storm out ahead of that. But it's not really a tropical cyclone, as we said. It's going to have challenges once it even emerges over the Atlantic. I mean, we have to have a close low for any type of development to begin, and I'm not sure that MCS will necessarily become a closed low as it moves offshore.
Right, for sure. So yeah, that's what we're looking at. That's what we're paying attention to down the line. So that's our second wave right here, and I can see why some of the European over here is excited about this. Let me go ahead and zoom in on this real quickly. For this, I can see why this is excited. I can see the excitement with the European, seeing how strong and powerful that's at least according to satellite that wave looks, and why the European wants this to develop right away, why it's so aggressive with it. I don't think it's going to be this aggressive. If it does develop, it's going to have to take its time, splash down, and probably develop either south or southwest of the Cabo Verde Islands. It's definitely something to pay attention to, especially with this business going on as well. But overall, not buying too much of the power numbers that I'm seeing right here from the European. In fact, I want to see what how this ends up panning out. Let's go to 10 days out in the 0Z real quickly. Okay, so let's go ahead and zoom back out on this. Yeah, the first signal is pretty much gone. The second signal is pretty much starts scattering, and there's a bit of a divide, which I will tell you this, if it wants to get its act together, and if it wants to last longer, it's going to have to stay north of the Caribbean. I emphasized this pretty clearly earlier. It's going to have to stay north of the Caribbean. You have the graveyard over here of wind shear. But the kind of downside is this is also going to be running into some wind shear on top of that. And you're going to have a situation where it's going to have to battle a lot of wind shear and battle some dry air intrusions. And if it even survives as long as some of the ensembles are going for, I don't know if the conditions are going to be that good for it to really start moving even further to the west. It's a situation where if it develops, whatever happens in the MDR will likely stay in the MDR. Maybe the Lesser Antilles gets impacted by the first system. The second system is a bit split, but I'm more so leaning towards the northern side of the ensemble track as of right now. But to kind of counter David's point from earlier, I think the conditions are good for at least in the terms of the context of what we're dealing with right now, at least especially in regards to what we've seen all season. But I would say that the time for it is that for both waves is rather limited unless it can consolidate and organize in that low wind shear and those moisture pockets south of the dry air. So with that kind of perspective in mind, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to some of our other callers real quickly. We'll have a nice little conversation about it. I have Logan on the call, LTW, and Delta as well. Ethan, if you want to chime in throughout this entire conversation, feel free to. We're not going to really do much of a talking order tonight. I just want more conversation. I want it to be a bit more of a flow instead of this just being a live stream news report and all of that like we kind of did the last few shows. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to... I'll start off with Logan, and then you guys can start bouncing back all over the place. So... not all over the place. I don't want anyone to take any Adderall. I'm not saying that you should to go bouncing all over the walls unless you have to. But anyways, terrible joke. Logan, please save me.
Save that for the Pacific.
What's up?
El Nino. I'm saying save the Adderall for the Pacific.
Okay.
Clearly it needs its dose.
Yeah.
Anyways. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying for the first storm. Granted, I'm kind of back and forth, so I'm not 100% here.
Yeah.
But I do agree. Like, there is a moisture pocket from what I'm seeing, but that dry air is just far beyond mixable. Typically, when I think of mixable dry air, I think of anything that has less than about that's less than about 30% humidity is not really mixable per
No.
se. That's kind of how I see it, around that benchmark. I will say though, there is a potential because I do see signs now. I don't know if this is true or not, but I'm seeing signs of Madden-Julian oscillation convection, or MJO for short, associated in the East Pacific that could be moving into the Atlantic soon. And if that does occur and if that passes, that may cause an increase in chances of tropical activity, because this is something that David points out a lot, is that after the MJO will pass over an area, typically your rising mechanisms are still in place. And now that it's no longer all going to be like monsoon mid-latitude based, all that's left is the latent heat energy with your rising motion that gives you tropical systems. And yeah, that actually has a really nice look to it on land over in Africa. That you can see it spinning in like 3 different spots.
Right.
That's just that. I mean, definition of MCV, multi-convective vortex, but you can just see it, and that's a beautiful looking vortex if I've ever seen one.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you were saying, the splashdown effect. Well, the question is, how is it going to transfer over, and how strong will the storm be after the carryover? Is it going to dissipate like everything else, or will it actually have the shot? And yeah, that is my thoughts on that. And let's turn it over to some of the other callers. Go ahead.
All right.
Hey, Pat, could
Yes, sir.
you go extend the frames back to like 360 frames, because you can see the splashdown effect on our first wave that's now off the coast.
Oh, this goes way
just-
back. All right. You're up.
So basically, there's our. So, trying to see. All right, so here comes our first wave, which is now over Africa in this frame. Look how impressive, how much convection is blowing up on it. And this is land-based convection. But now if we go towards the present, it's in the middle of that splashdown phase.
Yeah.
And now it's like it's lost all of its convection because it's struggling now to rebuild all that convection due to the dry, stable air. And now with the second wave, it's almost a carbon copy. So what you're likely going to see, which we have been kind of seeing, is some of the confidence in the first wave. There was some confidence, but then it's gone down a little bit. Is because the models are taking what is into account now and projecting it out into the future.
Right.
So if the first wave splashed down with all that convection like it was showing right now, in that frame when it was all very impressive, then the models would be like, okay, this could actually potentially develop. It's got a lot of moisture, it's got some vorticity, but the second it splashes down, all of that convection just kind of just wanes off. And then you're left with something that's not entirely. And you're going to see that same effect happen with the second wave just due to the hostile nature of the background Atlantic at the moment. You're going to see the models support this second wave a lot. And I'm going to join David on this. And I just don't think there is really much of a chance of any development with these two waves. The background state is just too hostile.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm looking at this as well. My question for you, Delta, is we've seen the splashdown effect. This took place. This is when the 0Z run was initiated for the Euro. This is what we saw, at least with this system. Let's go to 5 days. This is what we saw with the 0Z ensemble suite right here. Let's go to 12Z real quickly. Here it is. There's 12Z. Yeah, a lot of it's pretty much dipped right there. And this is what we are seeing for the context of our 12Z suite. Let's pull it up real quickly. It's definitely a bit on the lower side. Yeah, a lot of the power numbers have gone down on the 12Z. My question for you, Delta, is there a chance that we've seen this before, especially with systems like this, especially in around with systems around this time of the year. Is there a possibility that, say, the 0Z runs for tonight come back, and we start seeing maybe a little bit more of a resurgence and a bit more of a recovery with the power numbers, as well as maybe the signal still being consistent? What's your thoughts on that?
It's definitely possible. It's definitely possible that we could see a slight bump up in those power numbers now that the system is it's trying to build. You could refresh that page and go back to more present satellite.
Yeah, that's fine. Oh,
There-
it goes 288.
There is vorticity with this system, so it's something that we need to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
If it's gonna develop, it's got to do it sooner rather than later. This is not going to be something that it's going to lay low, cross through the entire Atlantic MDR, and then try and spin up in the Caribbean or north of the Caribbean. It has, if it doesn't spin up now and try and make its own environment, the vertical wind shear and the dryer to the north will basically snuff it out.
All
So
right.
I'm not ruling out development entirely, but it's got to do it sooner rather than later.
All right. Wait. All right. Thank you very much, Delta. Let me see something. Okay, we're back. We're back. We're good. All right. Yeah, LT hasn't talked too much tonight. You want to go ahead and give your best shot at it? Let's have a nice little discussion.
Yes. Hello there.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the background while Delta was speaking, I was looking at ensembles and the global models for this, and they actually support potential development. They show Euro shows like around 2 low pressures, with the second one being fairly dominant.
Yeah.
And the icon shows a bit interestingly more aggressive with like it. I just can't explain it, but it's fairly aggressive with I'm not saying that they're forecasting a 1. I'm saying that they're forecasting a pretty decent circulation for the first one.
Yeah.
The one
18Z
that
shows it.
came off. Yeah. And I haven't really checked the CMC.
I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, this is our first wave right here. Canadians being quite aggressive. This is after the splashdown effect, mind you. They're wanting a tropical storm out of this, potentially heading towards the Windward Islands.
And actually, sorry for interruption.
No, you're okay. I just want to say to preface how realistic this is. I don't know, but it's definitely. I wouldn't rule it out, to be honest with you. I would not.
The ensemble models are almost in agreement. The first wave will just kind of pass by, maybe develop into something, but not like a lot. But that second wave could develop into a TS. It's interesting, like all the ensembles are almost in a complete agreement apart from the GEPS, which doesn't really supports it possibly, like, okay, that's the first one. They have the first one developing and then just dying. And then the second one doesn't even develop.
Yeah, it's a bit scattered on the on what I'm seeing with the GPS on Tropical Tidbits. I'm curious to see what the 0Z will do. That's kind of my opinion on it. Yeah, please continue though.
Yeah, but the point that I'm trying to make here is I could see. I'm kind of making a bold statement here. I could see the NHC after the splashdown effect of the second storm. I could potentially see them marking it 020. Because I know it's bold, and I gotta wait for the splashdown.
Right.
There's just so much confidence in these two storms.
Yeah. Definitely a lot more than there was previously. I mean,
Yeah.
look at what we saw with Arthur and Bertha. The ensemble screamed, the operationals didn't catch up until it was too late. Difference is, this is over water. And another thing I'm
Yup.
finding curious, I'm looking at the 18Z Euro operational right now. They want this tropical system to just get its act together and develop the second wave. That is right as it gets off the coast of Africa. Granted, here's what we're seeing at 18Z here. This is that big burst of convection that started popping off. This hasn't even touched the water yet. I have a feeling that's going to splash down, but it's definitely interesting to see that the models, at least the 18Z Euro, is kind of starting to, is still showing maybe a little bit of something happening here. Let's see the ensemble. I want to see the ensemble suite at 18Z to see what's going on. Okay, this is interesting. Let's see what's going on here with this. Okay, the 18Z is intriguing right here. It's kind of decreased the signal just a little bit, but the power numbers have started to increase with signal number 1 here. Some of the power numbers have started to go up. If I want to zoom in and show you guys this. It's not all the ensembles, but 997, 985, 994, 994, 999. Where are we at 12Z, ladies and gentlemen? About 1,000, 989, 997, 1,002, 1,007, 1,005. Yeah, the power numbers have started to increase a little bit, albeit the overall signal has started to decrease on the 18Z. Main thing is watching for the 0Z for both of these runs. That's my thoughts so far.
Okay. Also, Delta, you could be with me on this because I saw the message. That's a tut, right?
Hold on.
This is on the CMC shear look.
Oh, look. Yep, we'll take a look at it.
Because if that is a tut, then that's a kind
that-
of a problem.
Yeah, that is a tut.
Okay. Is that the first wave?
That is
Yes.
the first wave. That's the one that's the most aggressive.
Oh, wow. No wonder why they're going aggressive. The thing gets helped by the tut.
Yeah,
with
to
the
some extent.
outflow.
To some extent, yes.
Yeah.
But it's just south of it is what it is. So it's not getting completely blasted by it on the CMC. It's
Yeah.
just to the north, but that is still not in a good spot for strengthening. So even if it does dodge on this model, if it does dodge the shear just to the south, it still is going to have to contend with the dry air and everything. You're not going to have a very high ceiling. Like in this model,
Yeah.
it does give it a little bit of a moisture pocket,
Yes.
but
It
it's
does.
completely surrounded in dry air, and not just some dry air, a lot of dry air. And then you have that shear in place just to the north. You're just asking for a very lopsided look that is going to allow dry air to enter the system.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
think-
what happens
yeah.
at the end.
Personally, I don't know about this. I'm not sure if you guys want to give, if you think this is being too generous. I'm giving the first wave a 5-day window from today.
Sure.
Agreed.
Honestly,
I
that's
can
pretty
see
fair, I think.
All right.
I can
Might
see
honestly
that.
be on the generous side, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah, I was
Might
about to
be
say
generous.
I might be a little generous with it. Yeah, I'm giving the first one about a 5-day window. If it wants to develop, it's gonna have to start pumping out convection. Or, just out of curiosity, what's the ITCZ looking like these days? It's probably not looking too great. No, it's not looking fantastic at all
No.
right now.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. It needs to produce its own convection. It has good vorticity, which it has going for it. It's in a moisture pocket, which for right now is going for it. It's in a shear pocket, which right now is going for it. The thing is, this system,
I don't see it lasting.
no, it needs to build from scratch in order for it to get anywhere, from what I'm seeing. As for the second wave, depending on how that splashdown is, if it's similar to the first wave, then you're going to have a scenario where it's going to have to build from scratch. That said, if we see the 0Z returns going, okay, we're watching this, we're seeing the power numbers, and we're seeing that resurgence of the signal starting to come back, you're going to want to watch. Because that's just because at that point, from what I've seen, is it's just generally, it's usually the 12Z and the 0Z models that I pay the most attention to because they have the most obs, they have the most data that's plugged into it. They're the most thorough in terms of your surface obs, at least historically. And they also go out the farthest. So my main thing is waiting for the 0Z models to come in before saying anything. Hopefully, I know they start coming in a couple of hours and all that. I know the icon is the first to come in. That's usually our first indicator as to what's going on. But even the icon, let's see what the 18Z is doing with the first wave right here. Yeah, the first wave, the icon at the 18Z compared to the 12Z right here. Let's take a quick gander. The icon has slightly uptrended it, but I want to wait for the 0Z to see if that's just a shift or a trend. So that's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm paying attention to for right there. Okay.
I would
Okay.
also
Yep.
I would also just like to mention that when it comes to waves like this in a train,
Yeah.
the first one could act like a sacrificial. It could act like a
Yes.
sacrifice. It could pre-moisten the environment a little bit. For the second one to have a slightly better environment, for it to try and get itself together. So that's also a possibility.
Sacrifice, sacrifice, sacrifice.
Oh boy.
Woo!
Yeah. All right. Jokes aside, yeah, it definitely is a very big situation that could happen. I mean, the moisture it's giving out to the MDR right now proves that if it is a sacrifice, it's doing its job for the second wave. It's giving it a better environment. The main question is, how is the second system going to battle that wind shear? And looking at that, here's the 18Z Euro. I'm just looking at this for the sake of looking at this. I like the 12Z and 0Z stuff better, but you have a situation where you have shear further to the south and shear up to the north. What are you guys thinking about this shear business over here from what you're seeing?
I think it's going to be a storm detriment, and I don't think something's going to develop out of that.
Okay. Okay, LT is wanting to see the zonal winds. All right, LT, here's the zonal winds. What do you got?
So I was taking a look at on the GFS. I haven't gotten to the others yet. I know I'm not screen sharing, but I'll
Yeah.
just let you know. According to the GFS, the 200 millibar zonal winds is fairly unfavorable.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to go to that, it's under upper. Oh no! Oh yeah. You can do
Which
that.
one is it? I have the 18Z pulled up.
It's under, I think, upper
Yeah,
dynamic.
I'm already there. Do you want
That would be
which
upper
run?
dynamics.
Which run? I got it pulled up.
No, it's the one that says U wind.
Oh, U wind anomalies?
Yeah.
All right, let's look at it. Holy hell.
Yeah.
Is the 12Z this big?
So-
Can I
Yes, it
retract
is.
my statement and say? Can I retract my statement and say 0% chance of something?
Yeah, this is not the most favorable. Yeah, we don't. Yeah, this isn't the most favorable environment to deal with it. I mean, you have a few pockets of near average, but holy trade winds.
Yeah, no, that's not. No, I just don't see it. I'm on board with David for both of them. And honestly, if this continues, I won't be surprised if we don't see activity until September. But that's if the trade winds
TMC
continue.
Jeez,
I would
dude.
also-
TMC is even worse.
Because
What's up?
if you look at the trade winds are pushing everything to the west. But then
Yeah.
if you look at your shear vector for the shear that, like, for instance, the CMC was showing, all that shear is coming from the west to the east. So you're having a very extreme amount of differential vertical wind shear.
Yeah, imagine the amount of turbulence you're dealing with this. Upper
Yeah,
level
there's-
turbulence.
Glad
is
I don't
what-
fly and glad I'm not a pilot.
Oh
That
man.
is what an El Nino does, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow, this is interesting. Take a look at the lower one. It's the 850 zonal wind anomalies. It
850
shows a
wind.
roughly
Oh,
complete
okay.
different story.
Okay, so the upper level
to the
is not
GFS.
favorable, but the lower wind is very favorable. That's intriguing. Is there a 500?
Actually, may I take a gander at this?
Yeah.
Before anything happens, that purple is actually indicative. In this case, it is actually indicative of not as favorable conditions, because when you have trade winds above you, below you, your winds are gonna be weaker because the
Oh yeah, wind shear's
basically
changing
all the
direction
energy
with
is
height.
here.
That's right.
So it would be the
Well,
exact opposite of the upper one.
Yes, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. Because this anomaly isn't based off of how good it's going to be for a storm. It's based off the direction you're going. So you actually want your orange. You actually want your orange to be very prevalent. And you can see here, it barely is aside from the subtropics. So it's the subtropics, that makes sense. But you get a lot of your mid-latitude cyclones there. So then the question then becomes, Logan, what do you think is going to happen in the Atlantic this month? Zip. At the moment, just zip. That
Well,
is
that's-
very bad for the Atlantic. Yeah, Pat. If you could think of an environment, this is basically like a -20 compared to a baseline to an environment.
This, if either of these develop, it's gonna have it's gonna have to give it the fight of its life.
It's probably
Yeah.
gonna have to fight through about 30 plus knots of shear and about 15% relative humidity. That's just hot doo doo. And it's not gonna splash down. It's gonna splash down, but then it's just gonna dry out, and basically it's just gonna be a shriveled up old piece of wood that is gray and about ready to fall apart with one simple flick.
Okay.
Yeah. I also
is-
retract my statement by
Mhm.
saying that the NAC is gonna
Yeah,
mark this 0
Yeah, this
20.
explains why the NHC isn't
yeah.
doing anything. This right here. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing's happening.
Take a
Not
look
for
at
like
other
the next
malls.
6 weeks. Well,
You should
yes, we
take a look
should.
at other malls so that
Of this?
you don't,
Oh yeah,
just
we need a
go-
cross reference. Here's the European.
I'm just letting you know,
that's even
Icon
worse.
does not have it. Icon doesn't
Yeah,
have it.
European is
so-
about the same.
Yeah,
Then how the hell are we? How the hell are we building a tropical system out of this? Does this just? Let's see.
Nope.
Okay, here's the Canadian.
yeah.
How is the Canadian doing this? I mean, it gives it a slightly better shot, but
It's just
Dude,
It
not
don't make
enough.
sense. Yeah, it doesn't make sense given how global winds work.
okay,
Basically,
yeah,
can I explain this one to them, Pat?
yeah, go for it.
So your ITCZ, normally your winds go from east to west, and it follows the Earth's rotation around its spin basically. And with that, at the equator, you have no influences, so you go east to west. And when you go east to west, just north of that, it has to compensate by going west to east, which it also does so south of the equator too. Think of it as like a high trap between two low pressures. It has to go one way, and in order to compensate, it has to go the complete opposite way in order to compensate for that in the atmosphere. So when you look at that, you normally, in your 30-degree latitude to about 60 degrees latitude, you normally have your western motions, as you can see with your westerly winds on the models here.
Yeah.
The westerly winds, I should emphasize, are in orange, and your easterly winds are in purple.
Right.
But basically, though, that just follows the 850 millibars follows the typical pattern. But then, can you
seizure
pull up the
warning.
upper levels for me?
Yeah.
Thank you.
What's up?
Then you pull up your upper levels, and then you see mostly orange anomalies.
Yeah.
Which, for reference, normally your trade winds go east to west, not west to east.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a sign of a reversal of the Walker circulation over the East Pacific and Central Pacific. And basically, it's just, basically the next 6 weeks, I am saying I don't see a thing. I see
unless
nothing
it's
coming out
homegrown.
of anything.
Unless it's homegrown, yeah. From what I'm seeing.
Yes, I should specify homegrown.
Yeah. Okay.
That's always a possibility because it can always pull something out of its.
Yeah.
Ass.
Hey,
Use
Ethan.
one of them.
Yeah. Ethan. I think we can. Whatever tropics are going on, unless this gives the fight of its life, we can throw that out the window and stick to winter weather content. How does that sound?
Yeah, as I've said, I mean, it's worth taking a look at, but realistically, I think it's a very, very small chance that this develops into anything. And like I said, I think this is just going to be the reality of the situation for the rest of this hurricane season, is the North Atlantic is going to be very inactive.
Yeah.
One thing I did want to mention when David was talking earlier about the East Pacific was that warm blob kind of around Baja California. I don't know if any of you guys picked up on that, but there's basically this area of very high sea surface temperature anomalies right around Baja California, which was interesting to me because that is an area that has historically seen some pretty devastating hurricanes like Odile in 2014. So I definitely think
Oh yeah.
when we do get into tracking East Pacific storms, that is something we need to be paying attention to, because Baja California could definitely be at a major risk this year relative to previous years.
Yeah, dude.
Can I
That's
add
for
on to
sure.
that?
Yeah, go for it.
In our most recent Super El Nino, though it's no longer considered a Super El Nino in the relative sense, we also had Hurricane Hillary, which went up that path and made a tropical storm landfall in California. And the waters were not this warm in 2023, I tell you. And they were warm, but they weren't this warm. And basically, that just tells me, too, like, yeah, very much at a greater risk of threat. Also, Pat, I sent you some images regarding the global yearly average temperature anomaly for the Nino regions and the VC chat. So if you want to show them that, that will be
Did
very.
you pull
Basically, well,
Did you send it earlier?
yeah, I sent it twice today.
Okay.
I sent it at
Yeah.
about, let's see,
Oh, it's right
about
here.
8:21 p.m. Yep. All
Wait a
right.
minute,
You soon
8:21
get one of these
p.m.
guys.
Oh,
I
yep, I
was
see it.
looking with Surge.
Oh, dude.
And yeah, it is
Yep.
bad.
Like when I say waters are warm, but not this warm. For context for everybody out there, Pat, if you show them this graphics,
Yeah,
these graphics,
I'll do that real
basically
quick.
2026 is by far shattering the El Nino's normal records, of which normally you don't see this level of warmth in the ENSO, in the anomaly sense, until November into December,
Yep.
which is when an El Nino peaks.
Yeah.
And then also another thing too, Pat, I know you probably saw this earlier. We actually, driven by the El Nino, we broke our sea surface temperature average across the world in recorded history since 2024.
Let me see. It's. I think I definitely
It's
saw
on
that.
Climate Reanalyzer.
Oh yeah, I'll just pull that up and not keep scrolling.
Yeah.
There.
This
All right.
was October 5th.
Okay. Cool.
Or August 5th, excuse me.
That's fine. Let's see. Quit that. I'm gonna go ahead and go to Climate Reanalyzer. Oh, I really do love this website for sure. Okay, let's look at the global.
Yeah, it's nice.
Here's our global shit right here. And yes, this is the first curse word of the night.
Of yours.
Well, yes. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Hey, can we
go to that one specific point?
Yeah, can we talk about
21.2
Yeah, can we talk about the massive fall off though? We had literally a spike and a fall. That's pretty much every time a YouTuber uploads a video right there. I'm just making jokes, guys.
But yeah, that spike isn't gonna matter. It's just gonna come right back, just like the first one did. Kind of like how, like I've been saying just now, is primarily based off the El Nino, which is the warmest by far. So if the El Nino warms up, that's gonna skyrocket. If it cools, it's gonna drop drastically. Very El Nino driven. Plus, I think the Atlantic is warming again, by the way.
Yeah, but by the way, there's a guy in chat called Weather on the Go Forecasts. He has over 100,000 subs. His message was retracted. I don't know what it was, but if he's still watching, if you're interested, would you want to come on the show tonight and give your take on any of this?
We'd be welcome to have you.
Yeah, let me see if did I pin the chat on this real quickly? Yeah, it's pinned. Join the Storms United Discord server, and we'll get you, and we'll slide you right into the voice call. All right. So yeah, I saw you. You know what's crazy is we have Weatherman Plus. We have we had Connor Croft last Triple P show on in the chat as well. We're getting a lot more weather YouTubers and people in the community coming on and watching this, which is pretty incredible. But anyway, all aside, what were you saying, LT?
I was saying that I forgot what I said.
Right, well,
wait, I remember.
Yep, go
ahead. Go back to the temperature.
The temperature,
like the one that you were previously
reanalyzer
on.
Yeah.
Remember, it usually oscillates. Is that how you say it?
Oscillates.
Yes,
Yeah.
oscillates.
So I'm not expecting this to just shoot up and then just keep shooting up. It usually goes up, kind of dips down a bit, and then goes up again. It's basically a trend. That's how it doesn't just kind of just go up or go down. It kind of hovers sometimes. Sometimes it'll spike high, but it will go down at some point.
Yeah.
If you see like graph charts or like stuff, you'll know what I mean. It'll like hover, it'll like sustain. Yeah.
All right. Weather on the Go doesn't have Discord.
100%.
That sucks. But yeah, feel free to enjoy the show then. If you'd like to come on at some point, we'd like to We'd like to extend an invite to you at any time. Feel free to also share this as well if you have the chance. And that goes to everybody. Feel free to share the stream, and since we're talking about some pretty interesting stuff tonight. But thank you for tuning in. It really means a lot to us. Anyway, what were you saying, LT?
It was me.
Oh, sorry.
It was Serge.
Sorry, Logan. Go ahead.
Are you on Discord on your phone?
Yeah, I don't think he doesn't have Discord. I mean, if he has a Discord on his phone, we could run him through there. But if he doesn't have it at all, then...
No. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. Maybe like if I don't know how you do it, because I'd say like give him your either he gives you your
do you have
his
an
number
Instagram?
or you give him his
Instagram?
Or yes, Instagram.
Yeah,
too,
if you have
that's a good
Instagram,
one.
we could. I mean, it'd be kind of awkward, but we could phone you in.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is phone him in.
Yeah.
Phone in a friend.
well, if he wants to come on, he can come on at any point. At any point, we can figure some stuff out. But yeah, if he has IG, follow me at Pat's Path Predictor. I'll DM you. And we can go from there. But anyway, self promotion aside.
And speaking of Instagram, be
Yeah.
sure to check out our Storms United Instagram page. And also,
Oh yeah.
we are hosting our very first photo competition. So
Oh,
please submit your photos. The best person's photo after a collective decision will get to have a 15-minute interview in meeting the team and asking Pat questions. The photo featured, channel or any social media featured, anything about them featured if they want it. And basically they can come on the show with us for a little bit and basically meet the team and get to see behind the scenes, kind of like a National Hurricane Center tour.
Yeah, is there a way I know we have our Storms United Instagram group. Is there a way we can is there a link to this that we can send? I know we have a QR code.
Yes, actually, yes. And I'll get those both for you, actually, Pat.
All right.
First things first. Let's see. Just a second here.
Yeah. Anyway, be sure to
sending
subscribe
this
to the
over
channel
to
if
you
you
right
are
now.
new. Goal as always is to get more people engaged with weather. The fact that we are seeing, we've seen quite a few YouTubers talking in the show over the last little while has definitely been. It's been humbling and very interesting to say the very least. So
They are in chat, Pat. Both of the QR code and the link for Storms United Discord
okay,
or
here's
Instagram.
All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, this is what he says. I'm most knowledgeable about severe weather, winter storm forecasting, and the polar vortex. I do cover tropics as well, however. Hey, we have our IG group right there. If you want to, if you'd like to join that, we'd be happy to host you on there on Instagram, for sure. But yeah, thanks. But yeah, that's definitely pretty cool for sure. You're kind of one of those versatility guys, kind of like how I am. My bread and butter is mostly tropics at that point, but at the same time, I can pretty much do, as John would say, a little bit of everything. It sucks that I don't have my camera on right now because I had a really good expression. But anyway, I'm going to stop rambling about that. Ethan, what's your thought? Ethan, go ahead and take it away. What are your thoughts on what you've seen? Or something.
I mean, yeah, I was just looking outside because it kind of stormed here, so that's what I was doing.
That happened.
Yeah, we had like 2 storms today. This severe weather season's been pretty relentless in the Mid-Atlantic, so
yeah.
But yeah, I was just kind of paying attention to that for a minute. So
that's fair, dude. Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. So what else do we have going? Okay. This is something I wanted to kind of preface with. This is definitely something that kind of piqued my interest real quickly. So yeah, LT, we were talking about how the GFS looks absolutely not super fantastic, at least with its zonal winds. Looking at the Euro at 18Z.
It's like almost every model that's
let's see.
showing the same thing. Not that very favorable for anything to develop.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah. I'm not gonna say anything yet because it's the Atlantic. It could pull something on us.
Yeah.
But like at this very moment, nothing. I could see the thing that I will see, or that we will see. This will splash down. It will lose convection. Dmax, it would gain some convection back, but it would not look like it did on land.
Right.
And then it'll just fizzle out and move into the Caribbean and the Eastern Pacific.
All right.
and that's what it's going to do. Both of them.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah, the Atlantic is pretty much just utter dog water at the moment for anything
sure.
tropical.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Definitely am looking at this. I found this kind of interesting. That's the 18Z Euro. Here's the 18Z. This is what I found kind of interesting. We froze for a second, but we're back here. Here's the GFS. Not at least with what we're seeing, especially with just the completely orange upper level zonal right here. You have a situation where the purple's going on over here. You're having that increased of kind of that wind shear look to it. I'll just put it that way with the GFS. Here's the Euro. Kind of interesting, at least on the southern part of the MDR, it definitely looks a little bit better. And it's making me wonder if that's part of the reason why the Euro is forecasting maybe some action happening, whereas the GFS is not so much. That's kind of something...
Right.
What's up?
Sorry for the interruption. I just kind of want to button. Right, but remember, one model doesn't tell the whole story.
No, I'm just
need
trying to
like,
figure
take
out
the
I'm just trying to
average.
diagnose what the difference is and why certain models are going one way and the rest are going the other. I'm just trying to diagnose the problem here.
Yeah.
Okay, the Canadian's the most favorable. Yeah, that explains
Yeah,
why.
fair.
Yeah. That explains it. Yeah, because a bit of a... Okay, we dropped frames for a second. Cool. I forgot to record this. That's okay. I forgot
We
to
back?
record this show, but that's okay. What's up?
We back?
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
We back?
Yeah, we're back. We're
Okay.
fine. Yeah, it just took a second. All right. So yeah, that's what we have going on. That explains to me some of the things right there and why the Canadian and the European's more aggressive. Me personally, I want to see what the 0Z goes for. That'll be the make or break from my perspective right here. So, yeah. Okay, cool. So we talked about the environment, what's going on with that. Let's see. I want to look at the Euros. Let's see. They don't have any thermodynamics. Definitely interesting. Let's see. Okay, let's look at the dry air aspect. I actually want to look at the precipitable water anomaly in particular. Yeah. This dry air, at least for right here, yeah, that's going to be causing some problems, at least for right now, if this system does develop. But overall, the dynamics around this system definitely is just, it's an uphill battle. Is it impossible? No, not necessarily, but it's not in the best position for right here. Okay, David's not back. Okay, cool. All right. Oh, Ethan, we're hearing feedback. Okay, cool.
What's up?
Yeah, I was hearing feedback from your speaker on my end.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good. But anyway, all right. So yeah. Okay, so all right. So what else do we have, guys?
I think that's it on my end for the tropics. Anything else on your guys' end? Ethan, L-tier Delta?
Trying to think. We think we really have a whole lot of severe weather going on right now.
Yeah.
No, it's in a quiet period.
Yeah.
Alrighty then. So
We
Pat,
can
what do
definitely
you
start
say
talking about winter. We can definitely start talking about winter though.
Yeah.
I think that might be
Just
where
as
we're
what, yep. Just exactly what I was about to say. We can get right into winter. How does that sound, Pat?
All right. Yeah, that's fine. I know we advertised this as mostly a tropic stream, but since we kind of covered everything and we figured out what the hell's going on over here for the most part, we can start pivoting towards winter weather a little bit. All right. So definitely some cool stuff. I know the latest runs have come out with what's going on with the climates. So we have the CFS weekly, the CFS monthly, the CANSIPs, and the NMME. And I want
Hey,
to. What's up?
you should take a look at the CFS monthly.
All right, which part?
The world SST.
Oh, to talk about the El Nino. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
SST anomaly. Yeah, David was showing this earlier, but yeah. What exactly are we looking at?
Like quick collapse just in time for the
Just in time
hurricane
for the
season.
summer. Yeah.
And if you look in the Atlantic, very above average.
It's below average, especially in parts of off the coast of the US over here, but it's very above average.
But that's because it's warming. It's warming.
Oh yeah,
It's
because of
getting out
winter.
of the
Yeah, I know
winter.
that. I'm just seeing what's going on with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is okay. Let's go ahead and go to the North Atlantic. This is why I'm worried about 2027, guys. This right here.
Yeah, if things flip back, I mean, imagine the La Nina that comes in after the El Nino is as extreme.
Yeah, we have
we could be seeing historic seasons in 2027, 2028.
Yeah, if we dip into a La Nina by September, then we're going to have a situation where, yeah, we're going to have a problem. Especially with the Atlantic Nina being gone in these models, too.
I was just about to say that the Nina signal in 2027 is not as strong anymore.
Nope. No, it's definitely not. So what a way to what a way to talk more tropics right here. So
actually, it does somewhat have an Atlantic Nina. You see that like around where you see the 0 on the right side, and then you could kind of see the Atlantic. Yeah,
that
would be the Atlantic.
That would start
I don't
popping
think that's
up.
really gonna do much.
No. But holy crap, that's the CFS. What's the CANSIP showing?
Remember, it's monthly, so
Yeah.
it's still going to show the August one.
This is July of 2027.
Oh, whoa, July.
Yeah.
I think that is backed up by our thermocline, actually.
Yep. We're looking. Okay, so December, January starts weakening. Collapse starts according to this, in March of 2027.
Wow, that's a fast collapse.
Yes.
You also have the
Also,
Atlantic
Pat,
Nina
just
a
a
bit
second.
more aggressive on the CANSIPs. What's up, Logan?
Welcome in, Weather Kingdom. You are on the air.
Hey, Weather Kingdom, what's up?
Nothing much. How are you guys doing?
Doing all right. We talked
Pretty
about the
well.
Atlantic. We're talking about 2027 now. We're just filling up. We're just having some fun right now. My face cam does not work on the show because my dumbass forgot to pretty much put. Excuse me. I forgot to pretty much kind of program it into OBS. So. Yeah, you get the view on Discord with the green screen. You missed Frankie being our guest for the show tonight, but yeah. So you can see me on the Discord call. You just can't see me on the show. That's the problem. So I mean, matter of fact, let me just to show you this again, guys. Yeah, you can see me on the Discord call. You can't see me, unfortunately, on the show. Which is what is important. That because we want to get more people engaged with weather. I mean, Ethan, doesn't this remind you of early 2021 when I started my channel, Pat's Path Richter, when I didn't have the face cam and everything like that?
Oh yeah, the very beginnings.
Oh yeah. When I was like, Tropical Depression 12 is currently moving through parts of off the coast of Africa. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was my first video.
What is the first
by the way.
system that you ever covered?
Is disconnected. We're gonna get this back started. Oh, it's starting to pump back up. Yep, we're good. We're good. Okay.
It sounds normal again. You sound like you, Pat.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So yeah, my Wi-Fi cut out for a second. My bad. But let's see. Anyway, let's look at it from. Okay, it covered a. How many videos did I make on Hurricane Sam? I'm trying. I gotta organize this real quickly. I know. This is kind of nonsensical at this current point. I mean, a little bit, but not a lot of it. Holy crap! 50 videos.
At this point, we're just filling time, guys.
My first 12 days on YouTube, I upload 50 videos.
Oh gosh.
Okay, Invest
That's
98L.
4 a day on average.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the 20th. That's 3. The Sam saga was crazy for what I did with it. Yeah, that was just. I think I published. Let's see. I think I published 50 videos on that. Holy hell! How did I do that?
Wow. You must have had a lot of free time, Pat.
Not well. I kind of the part of it is that I didn't. These weren't the 30-minute master classes you saw today. These were legit. These were basic YouTube videos where. Okay, Dr. Checkmate. Yeah, Dr. Checkmate for the $5 donation. Pat, with all you do for us, you're allowed to not be perfect from time to time. Thank you. Thank you for the $5 donation.
This isn't.
Also, be sure to like the stream, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and support the channel any way you can. Any support is much appreciated. Thank you very much, Dr. Checkmate, for the 5. That definitely means a lot, and I'm very grateful for your support tonight. But anyway, yeah, like I was telling Ethan, doesn't this remind you of 2021, Pat, when I was just getting started?
Yeah, way back in the day.
Yeah.
Weather
There's
Kingdom.
all kinds of stuff coming through your thing right now.
What's up? What's up, Ethan?
There's a lot of random noise coming through.
Oh, hold on. Who's the culprit?
I believe that's Weather Kingdom.
Yep, we got him. He's muted. All right. Yeah. All right. LT, what'd you have?
Oh, I was kind of looking at the CANSIP's precipitation for the Atlantic.
Yeah.
It shows a fairly eventful rainfall pattern for the Central America.
Oh. This is July 2027. Yeah. Across the entire.
Yeah, look at that right there.
I guess the tag could be active.
My
yeah.
You know what? I'm just gonna show it. Oh, wrong thing, Pat.
Hold on. I got something to say to that in just a second here.
All right, cool. But yeah, guys, that's July 2027 for you. What's up?
You know what I gotta say to that blunder, Pat?
What? Thank you. Very funny. All right, but Ethan, doesn't this remind you of another particular year that we all know and love right here?
Are we thinking 2024?
Yes.
I am.
Oh yeah, we all know how 2024 went.
Dude.
Boy.
I'm also thinking another year too, by the way.
I think the PTSD I had from the PTSD I still have from Daryl.
Not 2017. Well, that one too, but the best one yet.
05.
Any guesses? Nope. Any guesses from you guys before I announce it?
What's up? Oh,
I'm saying this reminds me of another year that was really good that also came about. I want to see if you can get this one, guys.
Which one?
2020?
1998.
Oh.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a good one.
That's the exact same situation that's occurring from a 1997 to a 98 El Nino crash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when
that's
I say
problematic.
crash, I mean like
Thanks for the Mel bite.
Also, we had Mitch that year. That was the year we had Mitch. 14 names.
that's
And,
another
We
thing
had
too.
10 hurricanes in 1998 to 14 tropical storms.
Yes.
Whoa.
And also, go back to that one image for me real quick, Pat. The precipitation.
Yeah.
Not that one, the precipitation.
Mhm.
You see where that precipitation's at its highest peak, right?
Yeah, it's off the coast of the Sahel region and Central America. Is that the gyre?
The Central American gyre.
Yep.
Yeah, Central American gyre. Now take a look at Mitch's path.
Oh boy.
Yep, I see it.
Yep. Those two things.
no.
Mitch got it into its own way though when it stalled off, though, which is interesting. It still caused a crap ton of damage and it still killed a lot of people, but it
By the
wasn't
way,
a Cat 5 at landfall.
Viewers who are watching, we are not saying that we are gonna have something like Mitch.
No,
again.
absolutely
We're
not.
just- We're just talking
Yeah,
about
no.
what happened in 1998 compared to what we're seeing right now. So,
And keep in mind this is for 2027 too, which is pretty far
Yes.
away.
and
so-
plus it
This is-
updates every month. The concept
Yep.
updates every month, so it could change.
This
Yes.
is still La La Lady Gaga land.
Yep.
Yes, I was just about to say that. This is still La La Land. We were talking almost a year out. And you can imagine some models have trouble getting enough resolution even 5 days out. So,
Correct.
so when you're just
Also,
looking
welcome
at
in, Trevor. You were on the air.
Hey, Trevor, you're on. What's up? Oh, he's muted right now.
Mm-hmm. Must be busy.
So
Yeah,
we're just really
we'll give him a
looking
second.
we're just really looking at signals right now.
Yeah.
And it's also
Yeah.
determines also you're not, if depending on how quickly our El Nino falls off, if it takes longer to fall off, then you're probably not you're not going to have as favorable as what the of an Atlantic.
Okay, I'm looking at the
beginning.
CanSips right now. This is for June 2027. Let's see here. Yeah, a
It
bit of an
looks
uptick with the wind
relatively
shear for June, but
Oh, sorry.
July. I think July of 27 is going to be our opening. Is going to be our opening day, guys.
Uh-huh.
Look at your pressure anomalies too.
Let's okay, MCLP. Okay, June.
Oh.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while for the El Nino to effects to wear off, but
Correct me if I'm wrong. The blue is the high and red is the low.
blue is lower anomalies, red is higher anomalies in terms of pressure.
Oh.
Let's look at the CFS monthly. Okay. Complete
Yep.
180. What's the NMME?
Mhm.
The NMME isn't even showing anything. SST anomaly. This is for April 2027. Only goes out 9 months. Cool. All right. So that's what we're looking at. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready for a very interesting 2027? Because I am. Hey. We don't want to get copyright struck. Oh, that's an original, I think.
Yeah, I don't think it gets copyright struck if it's like under 30 seconds. I think that's a general rule.
Yeah, I don't want to push the envelope though.
Yep.
Yeah.
Still captures how crazy next year could be. You could have
Keyword is
anywhere between
could.
a Katrina-like situation too.
Yeah.
And yes, thank you. Keyword is could. We don't want it to happen. Should it happen? Absolutely not. Could it? Also, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For context, though, next year the conditions look basically seem like they're going to do what 2024 could not. And welcome back, Weather Kingdom. You are back on the air.
And so is Trevor. They're
Oh, well,
yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah. Whoever wants to go first, go ahead. We're being a little loose tonight.
what are we talking about right now?
2027.
Okay, I've some of that.
Yep.
So I do think personally that we are in that super El Nino threshold now. I do think 2027 Atlantic hurricane season it's too early to call for anything just yet, but the first signs is looking very likely of a somewhat a moderate La Nina, and should the Atlantic be more active than this year and last year. I do believe it will most likely be on the active side. I just cannot say how active just yet. But signs are leading to more of a average, just at least average season to slightly above average season right now for 2027.
All right.
But yeah.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, before we get to Trevor, Ethan, if you look at the chat on my on the show, I started a new goal if you want to take a look at it. I think you know exactly which one I'm referring to with that. Anyway, Trevor, you're good to go.
Okay, so 2027 we're talking about. Atlantic starts to go active. What it could. I'm not quoting that, but it could. East Pacific goes dead. And I think we'll have I think personally 27 for the Atlantic. We'll have an above average this season. Maybe like something like 20, maybe like something like 24 in the Ace. But in the terms of number of storms, I don't know how many we're gonna have until we get into the summer. No, not summer, springtime of next year.
Yeah.
But
I agree with that statement.
Yeah.
110%.
It's still too early for sure.
I don't know if we're gonna be in a moderate is it La Nina? I think if it's strong enough, it could be labeled as a strong version of it.
Let's look at it. Here's SST anomalies. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Weather Kingdom, you got a lot of feedback coming from your mic.
I don't know how, but 1 second.
Yeah.
Sorry for interrupting, Pat. Go on.
Yeah, you're good. I'm just messaging Ethan right now.
That's all I've got for that.
Okay, cool. All right. Okay, let's turn it over to the audience. If we want, we can take call-ins as well. If you have any questions for us, if you have any comments as well, feel free to join in and chime in as well. Ethan and I are talking about some stuff behind the scenes. I was seeing what he thinks about what I just put out. So, yeah. All right, cool. So, yeah. Okay. Okay.
Well, guys, this is what we can call the halftime show. So, everybody else in here, how was your guys' days?
It was pretty good. Went to bring the boat back.
Oh, I'm cooking up some stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Delta sent me something versus Cansips. Okay, and
I want to say something real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Pat, can you go to the entire north Pacific
what about?
region on satellite? There's 2 interesting spots there.
All right, what are we looking at? Is this on Cyclonic?
No, but well, hold on. I'll show you. I have it. I have it up.
All right, LT, you have it on your stuff. Okay, I'll go ahead and turn it over to the Discord.
So I'm looking at the Pacific, the East and Central Pacific.
All right.
And there's I'm not really looking at this because this is a 020, which you should still take note even if it's a 020. This is what I'm interested about. This is a 040. And there's 2 areas I could possibly.
Well, 40% is that is very much alarming. I didn't realize it did so.
It seems like these 2 are separate.
Yes.
Doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Why isn't this invested or AOI?
Maybe that is in a condition where it's not good, but out behind it is even better.
Whenever you guys get done, I have something that Naz put out on Instagram that I want to talk about real quickly on the show. So whenever you guys get done, I want to jump to that very quickly. Because I have a feeling either he's watching the Triple P show and he saw this, or he found this on his own, but he's talking about the same stuff we are about 2027. I want to pull it up on Instagram when we get the chance.
Maybe we can get him on the show later.
I know he works at. I know he works at. I know where he works and all that. I'm not going to say where it is and all that, mainly because I don't want to dox him or anything like that to my audience. But I do want to see if they'll let him come on the show and have an interview, have a conversation. We tried twice to get him on the show when it started, but it didn't quite cut the mustard, sadly. But that's okay. Show goes on. And yeah. But yeah, well.
And also, Pat, after you show that Instagram post, what do you say we do like a little mini like halftime show, and then we dive into the winter forecasting for this upcoming winter? What do you think?
What's up?
We do like a little mini halftime show, like a 10-minute halftime show, and then we dive right into the winter and see what we're looking at here.
On this stream or?
Yeah, stream, yeah.
And we're probably gonna.
What do you think?
We're probably gonna end it pretty in a little bit, to be honest with you, and then we can, because what I'm planning to do is I'll just say it right now. We're getting the winter weather forecast out next Friday, and what I'll do then is we could do a Triple P show and kind of talk about that, react to it, and go over it. And I promise you, there will not be the music problem like we had last time. There will be pretty good music with it.
Yeah, you got a lot of comments about that. So
maybe even my music.
Yeah, hey, yeah, we'll definitely feature yours on there, Logan.
Pat?
Yeah, what's up?
I just took a quick gander at the global malls.
What's up?
They're showing a potentially strong signal. Every global model is showing something. At least forming or rotating.
Is that near Hawaii?
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh-oh. Let me zoom in on this.
The icon is showing something. The Europe shows a broad spin. the GFS is being GFS, if you know about it. They're calling like 969 millibars,
Yeah,
which
Yeah.
good luck.
sure.
Mhm.
Icon is somewhat interesting.
A little
It
Fujiwara.
No, it shows it kind of doing like a loop,
Yeah.
somewhat
Yep.
of like a loop, and then kind of heading toward. Oh, I accidentally. Oops. Before head towards Japan. Pat, can we look at
In Hawaii.
Yeah. This is
Hawaii,
I'm
not
talking about
Japan.
Central Pacific. Oh,
Yeah,
did I say
Hawaii, not
Japan? My
Japan.
bad.
You said Japan. Yeah, that's in the West
Uh,
Pacific, man.
Can we take a look at Weather Nerds?
For ensembles,
Yes, because
Yeah,
this could potentially be a really good signal.
yeah, we'll look at it briefly.
Oh my EPS!
What's happening?
Look
Oh,
at my
no.
screen.
I'm gonna hold up. I'll look at it in Weather Nerds. Yeah.
Oh. Oh. Okay,
Yeah,
that's a signal.
Yeah.
Let me switch it up on. Let's go on to. Yeah, we'll look at this very quickly, and then I want to get to something that
Mhm.
Naz put out. And I want to kind of talk about real quickly. But yeah, we'll shift over. We'll zoom out. Let's see regions. Is there a? Okay, there's North
Oh,
America.
I think you gotta
Yep,
go Pacific.
I see it.
Mhm.
Zoom in. Yeah, it's looking at the power numbers.
Yeah, I'm so noticing a 965 millibar
Yep.
system in there. I'm noticing 976 millibar system in there.
And there's
Yeah.
two. Yeah, as
Yeah.
I said, there's
Well,
two.
yeah, if you're tuning in from Hawaii, I would watch this, but and we'll keep you updated on it as well. But yeah, that's definitely interesting. I want to briefly take a gander at the GFS ensembles. Okay, not as strong.
EFS.
AI, Euro,
GEFS.
not even close. The Google DeepMind concentrated. Let's see what goes on 10 days out. Okay, it's not updating the plot. Thank you very much. And let's go to GENC. Oh, this is the 18Z. I want to go to the 12Z and do this. There's definitely a little bit of pop. Oh!
Oh,
Whoa!
wow.
What is this?
That, my friends, is...
Yeah, wow.
Remember
That is
when I
just a
said?
Okay.
You remember when I said the Pacific was taking Adderall because of the El Nino?
This is an example of that.
Exactly.
I can remember on the first Triple P show, I specifically said Hawaii would have a higher risk than normal this year.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we
And look
had.
at this. Look at this right in front of us.
Yeah. Oh dear God.
Yeah, this is a scenario where I would do let's not and say we did.
Yeah. I
this
see a
is
938
very
millibar in there,
ugly.
Pat.
Yeah, I see it
I
too.
see a
929.
929 as well.
Yeah, I see it as well. Let's just take a breather, guys.
I think that this is either gonna I hope this will be an Iona or a Hone situation where it passes just south of the island.
Now,
And,
granted, this is just the. Let's see, what's the Euro going for? They're bringing the power with that. Euro AI,
941.
not as much. GFS,
Right, but,
absolutely not.
when
GNC,
there's more
little bit.
models that are showing the system developing with less power, that still shows a clear signal.
Oh yeah, 100%. Not
Agreed.
disputing you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah,
We
that's.
gotta watch out for this.
Yeah, we gotta watch that. I'll keep an eye on it the next few days. All right.
I've also kind of been keeping an eye on it. I could see a potential CPAC storm just
for sure.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine. All right, we're gonna go ahead and move on because we're gonna go to Instagram real quickly to talk about something. Naz Does Weather posted something on his story. This is the most recent one, and pause it right here.
Teacher warning.
Yep.
Yeah,
Because it was
We're good.
flashing.
All right, so here's the situation that we got right here. August NMME climate update is out. This is what we have for you. This is kind of what he has. He has 2 screenshots of what's going on October, November, December of 2026. And the bottom one is of April of 27. This is what he says on this right here. General idea. El Nino rainy pattern / severe weather could kick off as early as Halloween time. I mean, given what's going on over there with what we've seen with the ensembles and what we've seen with the situation where we have that extreme low pressure. Ethan, we've looked at it. We've talked about it, how Florida could just get hammered by the severe weather this year towards this winter. But then we have to watch this out. And this is what he says for April. Then we have to watch our SST evolution in the Pacific, but even more so on the Atlantic. So Naz over here is seeing the same thing we are, and we've been talking about this ad nauseum both on my videos and on the Triple P show. So, yeah, this is going to be an interesting situation.
So one thing that catches my eye just looking at this, you see that cold blob on the SST's map kind of off the coast of between Connecticut and, say, North Carolina? And then notice how just south and east of that we have an area of above average SSTs.
Yeah.
That is really interesting because, that would indicate that during the spring we're going to see multiple nor'easters along that zone and probably some very cold temperatures behind it to get the SSTs that cool. So this is definitely a very strong pattern for major nor'easters in the mid-Atlantic and Northeast, as well as the severe weather threat that would come with those in the deep South and parts of Florida as well.
150%. Exactly what I've been saying to Pat too, behind the scenes for everybody in here too. 150%.
I just want to ask something. Just here as a Floridian.
Yeah, sure.
Could I potentially, because during when October and December, January, February, I'm gonna be up in college.
Mm-hmm.
And could I potentially see some possible really low temps?
Where at?
South Florida. I'm not asking am I going to see Antarctic temps, but could I possibly
define
see,
Antarctica for you guys, for you LT?
Well, when it gets cold, it gets cold because we usually have either really high humidity or really low humidity. I think Delta, you could agree as well.
All right. Ethan, what are your thoughts? You want to take a stab at this?
I would just agree with everything that's been said. I don't really have anything else to add at the moment to that.
He's asking,
just right
is
now,
it going to be cold down there or not, Ethan?
So in Florida, you're going to see a lot of variation because these cold fronts are going to be producing a lot of severe weather. So out ahead of them, you would see above average temps, and then probably behind that, you might get some Arctic blasts. I do want to mention, back in January last year, we could definitely see something like that happen again this winter, where you get a deep freeze that goes well into South Florida. We know some people who were impacted by that.
Yep.
I know we had snow flurries as far south as Fort Myers area, and it's freezing temperatures just inland of Miami. So there's definitely the potential for a deep freeze like that to happen again. We're probably going to have some pretty strong cold fronts moving through Florida during the winter months. So increased threat of severe weather and also possibly some extreme cold behind that. So I would definitely say there's potential for it this year, maybe more than other years.
No
Analog
question mark? Like flurries?
Analog support it.
Yeah, this was so the event that I'm mentioning was it was late January. I believe it was associated with that blizzard that impacted the Carolinas. Same storm system there. You had a really strong Arctic front that basically pushed through all of Florida, and there was actually some Gulf effect snow showers on the west coast of Florida, similar to what you would get during lake effect with the cool air behind the front moving across the warm water. As far as I'm aware, there wasn't any accumulation, but there were snow flurries reported as far south as like the Fort Myers, Naples area.
Yeah.
Which is pretty incredible considering those are full tropical climate locations.
Yeah. I got to play
talking about January of 2024?
No, I'm talking about it was late January this year.
2026.
Oh,
yeah.
this year.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I got.
All
right. Whenever you guys are done, I gotta play this real quickly. Ethan, I'm sure you're familiar with this because you were mentioning Arctic blasts in Florida. I'm gonna be playing this on the show real quickly. Whenever you guys are ready.
Go for it.
All right.
You're just going to see Arctic blast after Arctic blast after Arctic blast after Arctic blast, polar plunge after polar plunge after polar plunge, trough after trough after trough after trough after trough. If someone wants to clip this and make a song out of this, I don't care. But the point still stands that we're going to need to watch this very closely because this type of trough and this type of ridge pattern is very, very favorable for producing and developing low pressure systems. You're just
I legit could be a rapper right there.
Hey guys, can we get a moment of silence for a second for this?
What's oh jeez.
Oh hell no, man. What the
I had to. Ethan, if you remember that one time I did that in my video back in November. Holy hell.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
You know what, Pat? I think that's the perfect name for like the halftime show for the Triple P show. We'll just call it the Trough.
Or
we should have a roast Pat segment.
At the bottom of the hour.
Yeah.
No.
We should have a roast Pat segment on this.
All right. Let me get a torch then.
Okay.
And see that you.
Okay, I gotta stop. I gotta stop. All right.
You see what I said also?
Is there? Oh, what's up?
In the chat, by the way, for one, and for two, definitely supports for winter, and for three, after Naz, I think that would be a good time to bring that up with the announcement.
Oh yes.
Hey.
Let me go ahead and get.
But we won't.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to pull up some music for this real quickly.
By the way, Pat, before you do that, take a look at my screen. Delta, I'm sure you remember this clearly.
What's going on?
This is February 2nd at 8:03 a.m. ET.
All right. Yeah.
Ooh.
If you see those bowls,
I'm gonna find a piece. I know Carl Kate. I know exactly the piece I'm gonna get.
Yeah.
Let's
see. By the way,
bold area. Oh.
By the way, Ethan.
Yeah, what's up?
Lake effect gives me PTSD. As a central New Yorker,
lake effect snow can be pretty intense. I can personally attest to that. When I was up at Valpo back in November last year, Valparaiso, Indiana, which is about an hour kind of south and east of Chicago, we got a pretty significant lake effect storm there. I know, Pat, I think we talked about that. And honestly, that storm has actually been
was that in November
in the background footage of some of. Yeah, that was November 9th and 10th last year.
Oh, I wish I was there.
You've used that quite a bit in your stock footage for like the intro to several of your winter weather videos.
Yeah.
I was very happy to see that because that storm was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, Ethan, let me ask you, how much snow did you see from that?
So it came in like 3 rounds. From the first round, we got about 3 inches of snow. And then the second round overnight, I would say at the end of that, we had over a foot. But then some of it
Okay.
melted, and then we got the third round of snow, which was about 4 more. So in total, I would say about
Inches?
15 inches. 15 inches of snow.
Okay. Yeah, try 17 inches of snow in 3 hours on a random night.
Wow, where
Did
was
school
this?
get called off?
Central New York. This was
Oh,
for me. This was like 2 years ago or so. It just, or no, it was 3 years ago because I was still in high school. I was just excited that school was canceled. 3 a.m. All right, I stand corrected. By the way, it's 4 hours. 3 a.m. Dusting on the ground. I wake up at 7 a.m. It's up to my waist.
Oh wow.
Not the spookiest thing to
Yeah,
happen at
it
3
was.
a.m.
yeah,
more like
the
from 3
storm
a.m.
that
to
I
7 a.m.
experienced back in November,
Mhm.
during the absolute peak of that, I would say we had about 3 to 5 inch per hour snowfall rates. I have some footage of
Yeah.
that on my second channel if anyone wants to check that out. But
Yeah.
that was definitely a pretty insane event.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, hold on. I know the perfect thing to.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right, guys.
By
we
the
got.
way,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
all right. Let's
sorry,
let
go
Pat
on.
go. LT.
All right,
Let's let Pat
guys.
go.
So we gotta talk about this. We gotta talk about this
Mhm.
because Logan, Ethan, and the rest of the crew here and I are working on a pretty big project coming up.
Don't forget the music. Don't
No,
forget
I
the music.
haven't.
There we are.
And what I'll say to that is, by the way, music by Carl Casey, by the way. I need to put that in the description, so hopefully I don't get copyright struck, but whatever. Okay,
Yeah.
so this October, we are on the around that time, we are
Yeah.
covering Hurricane Melissa. We are going over all the data, all the analytics, from its rapid intensification and its humble origins, to the destruction it caused Jamaica, to the impacts it hit on Cuba, and then its final dissipation afterward. We're going to be going over
On Halloween.
everything, and I mean everything, with Hurricane Melissa. And it's not just me that's going to be doing it. Ethan and Logan are going to help out with it. We're going to have people coming on for interviews. We're going to have people doing segments in this. Like, we're going all out with this. Why am I looking at the camera right now when it's not even being seen Oh, jeez. Okay.
Yeah, the point Pat is trying to make here is this is going to be our most ambitious documentary yet.
Yes. Thank you.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so. And all I gotta say to that, too, is just... Hold on. Let's see if I can find something. I'm gonna find something here for it. Yeah. This works.
Well,
Let's just say, guys, this is gonna be a full, basically how I say it, balls to the wall situation. You either stick the landing, or you tumble, and then you stand on your feet. Either way, this will be the biggest production in Storms United yet.
yes.
Mhm.
And we gotta let this play
We are
out.
currently beginning, yes. We are currently starting our data, gathering people, resources, and time. And we will be showing all you guys the track and history on Hurricane Melissa. And when we get to that point, we'll see you guys right there in that documentary.
Yep. It'll be coming out. I kind of butchered the... Hold on, I gotta add this. Music by Carl Casey. There we go, so we don't get copyright struck. Yeah. Sorry I butchered the announcement a little bit. I was trying to make it cinematic.
Yeah.
But we're gonna be there.
We could do it again.
Next time, we'll do it next Triple P show. We'll do it next Triple P show when I actually have a camera. So, yeah, okay. At that point, I think, did we get everything, guys? Did we cover everything?
Basically everything.
Yes.
I think we hit on pretty much
We
all
did.
the main
right.
topics for this week.
All right, yeah, that's true. what I'm thinking about. Okay, so there's a couple things coming up. I'll talk about. Yeah, there's a couple things coming up and all that. This Sunday, okay, Ethan, I know we talked about this, but on Sunday there's a certain documentary that you and I are gonna you and I want to watch and all that. I'm not gonna talk about what it is because of the nature of it and all that. I don't want to get anything to happen, but yeah, we're gonna be doing that. But what I'm thinking about doing is this Sunday is August 9th. And that day it's kind of has a special day for the Pat's Path Predictor channel. And the reason I say it's a special day is, Ethan, I'm not sure if you remember what happened that day at all? Of last year?
August 9th.
Yeah.
Last year. Trying to think.
Wait, I think I know where this is going.
What is it?
I have two guesses.
What's up?
Either Katrina or Hurricane Laura.
Neither are right. Neither of them.
Oh.
August 9th of last year.
That was the start of the Aaron saga.
Oh yeah,
yes,
that was one of the most successful periods for your channel and for Storms United. So,
hey Delta,
That
were
would've
you
been my
on
third
that
guess.
show on that day? I think you might have been.
I don't remember off the top of my head. I
Okay.
know I was definitely here for Beryl and Melissa.
Yeah. All right.
I
That's
was
actually
like,
Yeah.
sorry for interrupting. I was the newest member,
Yeah.
and I was the one that put out the tracks, like the possible.
Yep.
I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
Oh,
if
absolutely.
you watch the videos
Oh
or
yeah.
lives. But yeah, I helped with all that stuff, and I think I did fairly well. And I was mostly right of what this was gonna do.
Yeah.
I knew
Yeah.
that this was kind of this thing was just going south of the cone, but it had to go up north at some point, go somewhere north some point. But the question is when it was going to do that.
Yeah. But the reason I bring it up is if I really wanted to, I'm thinking about hosting a show reacting to that stream.
Ooh.
if we don't have anything else big to talk about next week, we could definitely do that.
I'd like to.
We
yeah.
do have one thing.
What's that?
We do the eclipse.
Oh yeah, we
That
have
occurs
the
on Wednesday afternoon.
yeah we have the eclipse going on in over parts of the world. I think it's mainly going to be in Spain and parts of Africa, from what I've seen.
Yes, and parts of the northeast into northeastern Canada.
All right.
So I will see about 18% of the ecliptic of the eclipse per se. If I'm outside or that I'm working that day, I will see if my mother can get that
Yeah.
disclaimer there.
Cool.
But we have an eclipse coming up on the 12th
Yeah.
of August.
Yeah, we might talk a little bit. We might dabble a little bit into that as well. But I'm thinking about doing a stream, kind of reacting to kind of the highlights. I know I did a little bit on the New Year's Eve live stream, but I wanted to go more in depth with it and kind of make it a Triple P show bonus feature, if you will.
Yes.
I mean, it's going to be more of a personal show, obviously, but what do you guys think?
I'm all in favor.
You're in
Yes,
favor?
same here. Yeah.
Sure.
All right.
I know me, Ethan, and Pat were discussing this, and we were all very much in favor. But yeah, with you guys saying yes, I think we should do it, Pat and Ethan. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it's going to be...
I think so too.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's going to be a Triple P bonus feature. We'll talk. It'll mainly be reacting to the stream and all that, but we'll talk a little bit about the eclipse as well, so that way, because it's something that's in there. We have a topic and all that,
and maybe some space weather facts too while we're at it for the fun of it.
I wouldn't see why we wouldn't give it a shot. We'll talk.
I could make
Yeah.
I can make the connection between space weather and our weather on here on Earth.
Yeah.
And that is why I brought it up.
Yeah. All
So,
right.
yeah.
So yeah, if we're all cool with that, we're down with that, then I guess we'll be back here on Sunday night then.
Alrighty.
Yeah. All right. With that being said, we're probably going to end the stream here. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. The goal, as always, is to get more people engaged with weather. Feel free to join the Storms United Discord server as well. The link to that is in the pinned chat and in the description down below. Also, join our Instagram group. The link to that is in the chat as well. So, thank you very much for everybody for joining. We had a great night. We had a lot of laughs. We had a lot of reactions that I'm sure a lot of you didn't unfortunately get to see because I wasn't. The production part of it wasn't exactly the best, but hey, I think that's what made it even funnier, honestly. So, yeah. All right.
And I got something to add to that real quick, Pat.
Yeah, go ahead.
The production isn't as good now, but all I gotta say for everyone else in the audience, and Pat, you and I have been really working on that,
Yeah,
is just wait and see what comes next.
absolutely.
Because this will be a huge step in the right direction.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't you say so too, Ethan?
I'm going to just say if there is anything I want you guys to stay tuned for, it is the Hurricane Melissa documentary.
Yes.
That too.
That is going to be I think that is going to be the peak of everything that we've worked towards
Absolutely.
come October.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just say Pat's Path Predictor is going to have an even greater year in 2026 than 2024 thought of. Let's make that a reality, guys.
Yeah.
And stay tuned for everything is just going in the right direction. Everything is in motion.
All right.
And hey, maybe Chaos Control can get this going. Right,
All right.
Pat?
Let's go ahead and end it here. Thank you all for joining tonight. Have a wonderful evening. Stay safe.